Hello, fellow cat enthusiasts. My name is Dr. Kara Caldwell, and I've been a cat-only veterinarian in the state of Connecticut since 2011. Today, I'll be talking about an emotionally charged subject, quality of life and euthanasia. Please keep that in mind before continuing. For the rest of the video, I will try to have little time stamps and little placards about what I'm about to talk about next, so if there is a subject you'd rather avoid, you should be able to do that. First, let's talk about quality of life. Quality of life is something that can be a little bit subjective, but there are ways that we've tried to make it a little bit more objective in the veterinary world so that we can help have ways to talk about it and try to improve it as time goes on. To have a good quality of life means that your pet is kept clean, is well hydrated, able to eat, is not in pain, is able to sleep well, is enjoying life, and seems to be having a good time, basically. There are a few things that you can do to try to track your cat's quality of life, whether they've been diagnosed with a chronic condition, like let's say chronic kidney disease that might cause some pain, that might cause some chronic nauseousness, that might cause us to feel dehydrated all the time. Those are all things that can affect quality of life. Let's talk about arthritis and hurt. So there are things that can be done, like moving your pet's resources all to one floor if you have a multi-floor house. So for example, the litter box, modifying the litter box even, so that it has a short edge so your pet doesn't have to jump in and out of it or even step that far in and out of it. There are things like, having the water dish and the food bowl all available on one floor. There are pet stairs. My favorite are the ones by our Marcat. My older pets didn't like some of the other ones because they felt unstable. And it wasn't until I got some of those sturdier ones that they actually would use them. But they helped a lot as far as allowing the cat to be able to get to the bed or get to the couch to hang out with me like they normally would. So it kind of killed two birds with one stone as far as quality of life goes. The cats were able to get to where they enjoyed being, but also it limited their pain getting there. Quality of life isn't just whether or not your cat's eating or not. It's also about, can they enjoy the things they used to like to do? So anything that we can do to help improve that is considered part of quality of life. So if your cat enjoyed sleeping with you and is no longer able to because of a mobility problem, or they're always urinating on the bed, or something like that, those are all things that are negative for the quality of life. Talk to your veterinarian, because a lot of times we do have things that we can do to try to improve them. The stairs is just one example. Pain medication, though, is another good one. So gabapentin can be great for pain. It can also work in some cases of dementia. Cats, yes, can get dementia. The other things that can be helpful are things like nightlights. If your cat is getting cataracts or has dementia, sometimes having things up like nightlights can improve their quality of life, make them feel a little bit less aggravated or uncomfortable as they're starting to lose vision. If you're starting to be concerned about quality of life, there are some resources available that are easy to find. I'll link a few, but one of my favorite is Lap of Love. They have a website. They're a company that does at-home euthanasia, but also have veterinarians that are specially trained in hospice care. If you don't need to use them for at-home euthanasia, sometimes you can just give them a call and say, these are the things that I'm seeing in my pet. Are there any recommendations that you have for myself or my vet that we can do to help improve their quality of life, or before we have to make that decision that it might be time to have them go through euthanasia. So they're a great resource. There are quizzes on quality of life that have been validated by hospice care. I'll link them below. But these quizzes are ways to help make objective assessments as far as, is your pet able to go to the bathroom comfortably? Is your pet sleeping enough or too much? Is your pet able to do the things that they used to enjoy, or are you noticing them not able to do those things for a myriad of reasons? Is your cat eating enough? Or have they changed the textures of what they eat? A lot of those things can signal to a veterinarian or to an owner that something's changing, either medically or mentally, that might indicate that we need to make some adjustments in their life to help improve the quality of it. If your pet gets to a point where their quality of life is not able to be improved, whether it's through the night lights or the pain medications, adjusting where the litter box is, adjusting foods, and nothing medical has been found, like in the case of not eating as well, there's no dental disease, or the dental disease has been addressed and it's not improving, and you and your family feel that it is time to consider euthanasia, there are several options, and some may be available in your area more readily than others, but it's something that you can definitely speak to your veterinarian about. One option for euthanasia to consider is a lot of vets do offer home euthanasias. If they don't, there are usually some companies around that are nationwide or at least regional that may offer that service specially. So for example, Final Journey or Lap of Love both offer that service here in Connecticut, so that your cat's last moments can be at home, and they don't have to have a scary vet visit at the end, although not every cat finds the vet to be scary, in which case it's not a major issue for them. And that's one thing to consider. Is an at-home euthanasia right for your family, or is it better to do it at the vet for a myriad of reasons? Would it be uncomfortable for your family to have the memory of your cat passing in your home? We as vets, I think we focus on the cats a lot, but when it comes to quality of life and euthanasia, it's important to remember that there's a family behind that pet, and it's really important to keep you in mind as far as what is comfortable for you and your family, what is reasonable for you to do as far as medications go, modifying, your cat's environment to be more comfortable, all of those kinds of things. And if we can work together as a team, I find that I'm able to come up sometimes with workarounds that are acceptable to everyone, and your cat can remain comfortable for, a little bit longer with a good quality of life. My goal typically is to have your pet have the best quality of life they possibly can be, even if that means that they won't necessarily live a significant amount of time longer with these interventions. So it's very important that you're upfront with your veterinarian about what expectations you have, what your quality of life is like in caring with your pet, and what you are able to tolerate or not tolerate emotionally, medically, financially, when we are considering end of life and quality of life care. Usually, if a client is more upfront, I'm able to formulate treatment plans a little bit better, keeping everything in mind, and come up with a plan that fits everybody's expectations. For euthanasia is typically done the same way for most veterinarians. So that means a sedation or a sedative is given, typically to a point of anesthesia. And the sedative may take, depending on how it's given and the drug, but either several seconds to several minutes to take effect. And your cat will leave their eyes open during this part of the procedure. And after that is done and your cat is sufficiently unconscious, most veterinarians will then give the second shot that is an overdose of anesthesia that slows and stops the heart. They don't feel anything for that second shot, which is great, and it's generally very peaceful. But some normal side effects of death, whether it's done via euthanasia or even at home, is you can sometimes see peeing and pooping once they're gone because all the muscles are relaxing, so everything is letting go. If your pet does have fluid in the lungs or around the lungs, sometimes you'll see fluid coming out of the nose or the mouth. And sometimes cats in particular can make a muscle movement that looks a lot like breathing. And this can happen several minutes even after they're gone. If that does happen, it can be very normal, but if your pet passed at home, definitely bring them to the vet just to confirm that they've passed. Once they have passed, as far as body care, there are usually options available, including local crematoriums that sometimes you can just bring the body right to them. You can bring your pet to the vet, is the most typical way most people take care of the body, or you can bury your pet in the yard following local ordinances. The ordinances are typically designed to prevent wildlife or groundwater contamination for the body, so please do look those up before burying your pet. It's just to make sure that everything is treated in the most respectful way possible, in the most environmentally friendly way possible. So whether you have a veterinarian come to your house or come to the clinic, that is typically what happens. Those are normal side effects to see, and something to consider as far as whether or not you still want to be in the room or what family members you would want to have in the room with you. As far as what is right for one person might not be right for the next person, so we do not judge. I will say that most people do choose to at least be there for the sedative part, and some people will leave for the second half, and some people stay through the whole thing. Again, nothing's wrong. So whatever is right for your family is the right decision. So please peruse the resources below and let me know if you have any questions. This topic can be really, really hard to figure out for a lot of people. Using, I think, those questionnaires can be very, very helpful as far as figuring out whether or not the time is right. But even then, that's a very individual thing. But using those can sometimes be a good guideline as far as triggering talks with your veterinarian as far as, hey, I'm noticing this parameter as far as quality of life goes is starting to go down for my cat. Is there something we can do to help it get better? Sometimes we do have ideas. So please give us a call and let us know that you're having some thoughts about quality of life, or your cat is starting to have something go poorly and as far as quality of life goes, and we'll do what we can to try to help. If you are having issues either before your pet passes or after with grief, there are pet loss hotlines. I will also link to those below. Many of them are free, some are paid, but a lot of them are run by qualified individuals such as licensed social workers, and can be very helpful as far as talking you through this. We understand that your cat is part of your family. This is not just a cat, and it can be very devastating of a loss, and especially just like people, cats can have strokes, and sometimes it's a sudden loss that you weren't expecting. So it's all of these things are things to think about, unfortunately, and I hope that going through this is something that having this video available to you is something that can be helpful when it comes time for you to have to make that decision, or even talk about quality of life with your veterinarian earlier so that there's things that we can do to intervene to improve your cat's quality of life. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe for more content, and I promise they won't all be as emotionally charged as this one may be, but it's something that is very important, and making sure that your cat is comfortable.